My name is Jasmine Neal. The three top social issues that I want to talk about for America is number one, gun violence, two, our healthcare, and three, the cost of living slash wage. Starting off with gun violence is such an issue, and it's only increasing in its rates of occurrency throughout society nowadays. There's so many mass shootings, there's so many suicides, there's a lot of police brutality going on. And with gun violence, it's such a controversial thing because um, people feel like, well, if we get rid of our Second Amendment, then essentially we're giving away our right to bear arms. And then you have people that feel like the government isn't really assisting us in the community. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's becoming an even bigger problem, because it's something that's rooted in our culture. And um, the more all of the tragedies that are happening, especially with the mass shootings, you tend to see a pattern, and there's a reason for that. And the second one is our healthcare program. That is a really big social issue here in America. I personally believe that people should not be dying from treatable diseases. Um, this is something that's a natural human right and something that we should all have. With our healthcare now, we tend to create inequalities between those who can afford healthcare and those who can't. And then you tend to see more animosity from the ones who can't afford it because they're the ones that are paying for the ones that can't. And it creates a gap, and our nation makes it more of a community problem when it needs to be something that's being handled from a government level. The third and last one is our cost of living slash wage. Our wage has been the same since 2009, and yet we still start to see everything else in our lives inflating. Um, we have cost of living like rent, food, gas. Like you see all these crazy prices, and the cost of living and the wage is not matching up. And this can go into our education system with students that are struggling with student loans, student debt. That's something that also does play a big role with the gap that we have with our wages. And that is also something that us in America specifically, um, it's one of those social issues that's up there because once again, we don't really have that government assistance that we probably should have, but unfortunately. So social media can be a vehicle for social change just besides the fact that it gives us, the community, a voice, and it gives us the ability to connect and through social media, especially Twitter, I feel, and Facebook. You tend to see, the people that you follow. You tend to see their beliefs, their values, and like for example, with gun violence. When I wrote my paper on it and I was looking on it on Twitter, many people that are creating hashtags like hashtag gun violence, hashtag end gun violence. Um, and it's so amazing because with social media you see community change, you see social change within the community, and then they want to get involved more. So with gun violence, it's one of those things that the government isn't really doing anything on, and it's just getting worse as time progresses. But you see like people of the community coming together and fighting for legislation towards the issue. And so that's the really good thing about social media. It brings about a lot of change and more openness to our beliefs and our values as individuals. And so yeah, those are the top three social issues that I feel like we struggle with the most here in America. Everyone else's are going to be different, but you know, the fact of the matter is that there's more than three social issues that America faces. There's so many. Bring about change with new policies and legislation to be more for our people here in America.